TP Bennett is one of the top 10 practices in the UK, one of the best established practices. We've got 100 years of, almost 100 years of history. In 2 years' time we'll have our anniversary. We've done many buildings of interest. 8 of our buildings are of historical interest. They have been listed. They are on listed buildings register. Currently, we've got a number of partners who are active in a number of sectors, and we are, in many of them, we're leading both in the UK and in Europe, and that includes residential, student residential, hospitality, hotels, offices, and many others. Hounslow is a very interesting place. It's in West London. It's historically has developed along a high street, so it's a very linear place. It's very vibrant. It's lots of interest there, but it doesn't have a central place. And our design, our scheme, sits just next to the high street, so it was a great opportunity to introduce something that will introduce a focus of urban life into Hounslow. So that was the main premise of our design. We introduced a big central square, which will be busy with cafes, restaurants. There's a cinema there, and there's of course plenty of homes overlooking the activities in the square. The apartments in the scheme will be very interesting. There are a number of different aspects that they will have. So we have apartments which are overlooking secluded private courtyards with lots of greenery and very quiet. And then there are apartments which are overlooking pedestrian new streets. It's a very fashionable thing now in London, the whole concept of urban living. People like to live somewhere which is active, which is vibrant, which is a lot of life, and that's what we're providing. But that's for the apartments which are at lower levels. We also have apartments in the tower. There are 2 towers, one much taller than the other. And those are quite interesting because as soon as you go over 4th, 5th floor level, you get, Hounslow is not that high, so you get views over rooftops. So in one direction you get views all the way to Windsor, so you see the greenery and Windsor Park on the horizon. And to the other side you get magnificent views towards central London, so you can see the skyline of London with the Shard, with the Millennium Wheel and all the buildings in the city. So it's quite a big choice and quite an interesting place to live from this point of view. One of the most important aspects of this scheme is public realm, is the actual spaces on the ground, the spaces you walk on, you sit, relax, etc. We felt it was quite important because these spaces are having 2 functions. One is the amenity for the residents, but also it's one of the main central spaces within the Hounslow where people will come and visit. So it is very important. It's crucial for us to design it in such a way that it will be of the highest quality. The most important aspect of this design will be the central square. It's actually a very long space and it's multifunctional. So one part of it, which is surrounded by buildings in a semicircle, will be your coffee society, if you like. There will be tables and chairs spilling on the pavement. There will be cafes and restaurants, people sitting, drinking their cappuccinos and admiring the view in the afternoon sunshine. The other part of the square, which will have a fountain, you can turn the fountain whenever you've got events, and it's an area for events. So there's a number of things that will be happening there. We thought of seasonally in the summer, having an urban beach, maybe having beach volleyball. We thought of game of kabaddi. I don't know whether you know, but Hounslow is it's absolutely mad on kabaddi. Lots of people are playing it. It has a very strong team. And there's actually no way that people can appreciate the sport. So we thought, and we designed the square with such dimensions that you can fit the game and the spectators within the squares. But of course, it's not only that. There are various seasonal and religious festivals. There is music. There could be a crash. There are lots of elements that seasonally can include there to increase the vibrancy of the space and to bring that sort of attractive urban life that people are looking for. Well, the buildings in the scheme are steps. They are varying heights, and they both are articulated in plan and in heights. That's because we're in the area where most of the urban grain, the buildings, are of suburban scale. And what we wanted to do is the bigger, the taller buildings that we're designing to correspond with that scale and to fit in well within the context. So that's the idea. We've got different materials, different colors, different scales, and different articulation. In terms of architectural language, there are varying approaches. So the most visible element of the scheme is the tower. The tower is 23 stories, is designed as an iconic element and the calling card of the scheme. Because of its location, the tower will be visible and will be one of the key views as you land at Heathrow. Will be one of the key views of London. You will be able to see it very well, and everyone will recognize it as they arrive to London. Indeed, as you arrive in London and get on the train and travel towards central London, you also will see it from the train. As you stop in Hounslow tube station, you will be able to, from the window to see the tower. So it's a very important element. You will see it as far as from Richmond Park and from some views from central London. So it will be an iconic and important view. This is why we designed the tower in unusual materials. So it's a dark brick with the spotted elements. There are twisting golden balconies that will shimmer in the sun, in particular towards the end of the day. So we hope it will be quite distinctive and important element of the scheme. Lower towards the ground, you will find that there are quite a few interesting elements. So within the square, one of the key parts of the square is the new cinema. And cinema will be shrouded in golden panels, which have two layers of patterns on it. So one pattern, which is inspired by a computer punch card, is reflecting the modern Hounslow, which is the home of many high-tech industries and high-tech companies, which has Heathrow Airport. So it's all about modernity and modern life. But of course, Hounslow also is a home to many different ethnic communities, a very vibrant, very mixed place. So we try to reflect that as well. So you will find that computer punch card pattern on the cinema is also superimposed with the traditional sari pattern that's in a slightly lighter color of gold. And the two patterns working together reflect that dual aspect of Hounslow identity. And if you look further, if you look at number of balconies and certain relief panels, they have been inspired by different patterns from different countries in the world. So we'll find the motifs from Africa, motifs from Poland, from Eastern Europe, from many countries that make up the very interesting and vibrant community of Hounslow. All the apartments are designed in accordance with the latest modern standards, not only in terms of the regulations, but also what market expects in London. So each of the apartments, from the smallest to larger apartments, they all have balconies with nice views, with privacy panels of the size that you can have tables and chairs on a nice and sunny evening. They all have open plan kitchens. This is a norm in the UK. That's what people expect. A kitchen is not just a place to cook, but it's the center of entertainment in the apartment. So it's very important to have both the living room and the kitchen as one open space. Kitchen is designed in a very modern, attractive material. All the materials are robust. They're designed for longevity to make sure that they're easy to maintain, but of course also that they look very good. Most of the windows are full height, so they bring lots of natural light and also nice views. Even not only when you stand, but when you sit, you can see the views all the way to the street level into the greenery. The larger apartments have 2 bathrooms. One of them is always en suite. Again, beautifully finished with robust finishes, with tiling, and I would like to think very attractive, very contemporary, exactly what people are looking for. Well, one of the key things about the scheme, of course, it's its location. I think it's probably almost equidistant from Heathrow and from central London. So in terms of location, for only people who work, who travel, it's a fantastic point, because easy to get out of London, easy to travel from Hounslow to London. The site itself, it's only a stone throw away from Hounslow Central, with very fast direct link to central London. It's next to High Street, with all the buses and connections to the local areas. There is plenty of local schools, kindergartens nearby. So it has all the benefits of central living, and of course you've got all the facilities in terms of shops, bars, cafes, local markets. It's all on the doorstep. So it's going to be extremely attractive place to live.